are live. It's NBA Rundown time. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler and Meg, our new Thursday guest. How you doing today, Meg?
I'm doing good. I mean, it's baseball opening day. Another golf tournament starting today. We still got 2 games to break down for NBA. So, yeah, enjoying it. Ready to go.
Yeah, pretty nice of the NBA, right, Tyler, to let baseball have a day?
Yeah, you're not lying there. They gave him the whole Thursday.
They really did.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, they kind of gave him Thursday, but then they turned around and said, if we're giving him 2 games, we're giving him one really good one.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it would have been a lot more, right, if the Celtics hadn't blown it to the Wizards. Because right now, the Bucks are 3 games ahead of the Celtics with 6 games to go. So obviously, the Celtics pretty much would have to win tonight in order to catch them in the standings. But it would have been nice if they're a little closer. Regardless, I'm Team Bucks, so it's good to see them where they belong at the top of the Eastern Conference. Let's talk about last night a little bit, right? Since we only have a couple games to go over. Tyler, did you have your eyes on NBA basketball, and what did you see?
I did. I watched a game that just so happened to occur in the city of Chicago, Spread. And we watched the Lakers just kind of come out.
We're talking about that. That's what we're starting
already.
AD showed up.
KD comes back.
38-10. They dominate that game. That was the game we had a little argument about, Spread. You're telling me we got to be on the Bulls. And I'm like, no, we can't bet against this fully healthy Lakers team. And in the end, the Lakers prevail like they always do, and they pick up the win. So,
like they always do, they're 38-38. Like they do half the time.
When they're fully healthy, they win games, Spread, and they're fully healthy. So, up to the 8 seed. Better hope I don't get to that 6 seed.
I like how Tyler just went for it first. Opening line.
Yeah.
Got to rile them up right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's been that type of day.
Our guy Mikey's not in the chat to do it, so we got to have him in here.
Someone's got to do it.
Thank God. Jonathan Else is going to show up in a minute now.
Our guy People's in the chat.
No, I bet AD over. I'm not the complete
His
hater.
first comment, not even the AD comment, because we were locked arm in arm on that AD game. Russell Westbrook's game last night, Spread.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard our guy K. Fallick was big on him. I wonder how he did in that live final, because Westbrook nuked last night. I don't think he missed the 3, which is the first time in years. He went 5 for 5 from 3, put up 30-plus points. I'm surprised he didn't triple-double, but there were really no rebounds in that game to get. He racked up the assists. I mean, he had a huge game, so it was nice to see Prime Russ back, especially after we talked good about him on the show yesterday, Spread.
Yeah, I've been backing off my slander, but we do have Travis tomorrow, so we'll see how he reacts to that. Meg, what did you see in the association last night?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch much NBA last night at all because I had some work deadlines that kind of came down on me and had to get done. And then I did want to jump in and get in some action for some golf and MLB opening day. So I was, those are not my first sports. It's NFL, then NBA, and then those, I know them well enough to really get in the DFS streets, but I really lean heavily on our RPS resources. And so I was just going through everything on Run Pure and trying to build my best golf and baseball lineups last night. So I have to admit, I'm sorry I didn't get to watch any NBA, but I was trying to get a little more action in for today.
No, that's fine. We are glad you're ready across multiple sports. All right, come on. Can we not overreact to beating the Bulls? Tyler, how good are the Chicago Bulls?
They've been pretty good recently, Spread.
Oh, have they? You never let me bet on them when we're doing tags. They're 36-40 this year.
They're 36-40, but they were 5-2 in their last 7 coming into that game.
My God.
With one of the highest defensive ratings, and they got housed.
I know. How did that even happen? Is Pat Bev really that good? Do we have to give JC Zarga some credit?
I don't know, but did you see them? Did you see them hunting him last night, Spread? Austin Reeves hit him with the 2 small. LeBron walked over. LeBron was standing in front of the Chicago bench, basically with one hand on his hip. He goes, "Who's going to guard me? You? Who's going to guard me? Him? Is Beverly going to guard me?" He's like, "None of you guys can guard me," and just walked away. So they toyed with that team last night, and I kind of agree with Otter with how the West is up in the air, and they're kind of look like if they're fully healthy, that team's going to walk through the West, Spread.
Really, they're going to walk through.
I think there's one team that gives them troubles in the West if they're fully healthy.
Bro, Phoenix Suns will beat the Lakers.
I think the Lakers defense gives them some troubles.
Yeah, right. How are you going to cover Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant had a terrible night last night, and they still won by 7. He had a terrible night. How are they going to do that, Tyler?
They got defender spread, and you always tell me LeBron James can't defend, but when the dude wants to lock it and defend, we've seen him.
Oh, when he locked down KD when they played in the finals last time?
Oh, yeah, when you have 3 other shooters around them in the best team ever, because KD
you have Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton around him. It's not like he doesn't have help. That's not a bunch of 3-point shooters. Like, yeah, Devin Booker's your biggest worry. Chris Paul's not your worry. Chris Paul's not hanging 40 pretty good
on
last night, and
he's
I hate to say it because I'm not a CP3 guy at all.
I will bet my life on it he's not hanging 40 points on you in a playoff game anymore.
I don't want to bet your life. What will you give?
I'll bet my life on it he's not hanging.
You got to give me 20-1?
I don't think he can play 40 minutes in a playoff game anymore.
I was going to say, it sounds like there needs to be some friendly action here on the West, an early West
Who
pick
do you
here.
think is more likely to come out of the West, Meg? I mean, the Suns has to
Suns,
be
yeah. For me, it's the Suns. Yeah.
All right. How about Nuggets or Lakers?
I like Nuggets still, but I know Tyler's not going to agree with that.
Yeah, well, he calls the MVP of the league a Teletubby.
He's grown on my list, Brad. I haven't talked bad about him in a while.
I know. This is a whole new show, right?
Did you see how it coincided with the fact that they started to lose games? It's almost like I was like, I won't kick him while he's down.
That's so nice of you. You know I would have. But no, isn't this like this? We've grown as the season's gone along, right?
Our guy Clyde's right, Spread. There's your defender.
Yeah,
right there.
You guys are so ridiculous. Jared Vanderbilt's going to lock down Devin Booker?
Yes.
Okay.
I love when people get spread route up and he flies back in his seat. That's when you know that he's
because I'm at a loss for words. At first I thought he was talking about the NCAAs. Oh my gosh. All right, Grizzlies against the Lakers.
Lakers.
I like Lakers there.
Wow, okay. I'm not going to mention the 3 seed in the West because you guys will just hurt my feelings. We already went over the Suns. Fully healthy Clippers will beat the Lakers too. Since we're going
when's
fully
George
healthy.
Supposed to come back? When's
playoffs, first round, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not as worried about the Clippers.
We just talked about our new favorite player, Russell Westbrook, leading the way.
Yeah, and
revenge narrative.
Yeah, that's a recipe
that's true.
for disaster.
That is quite a revenge narrative.
That's a recipe for disaster with a guy like that in the playoff series. He's going to try and hero ball you at the end of every game and lose you all 4 games that you lose that series in.
All right. Well, let's move on, Tyler. Let's move on to something we agree on, and that's slandering Kyrie Irving. The Mavericks lost again. Did you see that game, Tyler? What did you think as the Mavericks fall to 37-40?
Yeah,
potentially missed the playoffs with Luka and Kyrie. Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna miss the playoffs. They don't own any. The only tiebreaker I believe they own is the Lakers, and I don't think it can catch them. So, I think they're gonna miss the playoffs. But I still think they bring Kyrie back in the end. They're gonna be like, we try to do it on the fly. We traded too much defense away. We'll go out and sign defensive players, and we'll try and run this back next year. And I think you're just gonna see Luka more frustrated next year, and maybe you get the trade demand halfway through the year. Because even guys have said it's like, oh, all these guys that like kind of bully their way around the league from team to team, a lot of those guys tend to be American, Spread. We haven't seen one of these foreign guys get mad and stomp their way out of town yet. You're going to see it soon.
Good point.
That is interesting.
You're going to see it very soon. He's going to get pissed and he's going to leave Dallas.
I mean, my guy, we the people, finally bringing some fire. Thank you. Doesn't surprise me though, right? Because he doesn't think
he's building this up just to hammer you with some take, and it's just going to ruin you. Because you guys used to always be at each other with the defensive takes, and then yesterday.
But look, he's consistent because he's saying the Kings, who are like the 25th best defense in the league, it doesn't matter. Since he doesn't care about Jared Vanderbilt, he's not locking anyone down. Kings are going to beat the Lakers.
Yeah,
and I, for one, am happy to see it. Spencer's talking about me being in prison. Good morning, Spencer. Good afternoon, wherever you're at. What? Okay, here's Clyde. We got to love Clyde. All this West talk is nonsense. Bucks are winning it all. We're talking about who's going to win the West, Clyde.
Somebody's got to play the Bucks in the end.
Does it matter who's winning it all? I mean, that's not. Oh my gosh. All right. Tyler can place me money on it. All right. we'll get back to that one later. Meg, are you surprised that the Kyrie Irving experiment is not going well in Dallas?
I am a little, yeah, I'm a little surprised. I mean, but I guess when you put two stars like that together, you never know how it's going to pan out in the NBA, and the experiment is obviously not working. And but no, yeah, when it first happened, I thought, okay, they needed somebody else besides Luka, but it wasn't it.
It's funny. Instead of getting a second star, they probably needed like 2 or 3 wings, like the Nets ended up with, like Finney Smith, Cam Johnson, and Mikal Bridges. Yeah, so Tyler, they could catch Oklahoma City, though, right? You're saying they don't have the tiebreaker against OKC?
I don't think they do. I think the only tiebreaker they say that team owns right now is the Lakers tiebreaker. And that's off that buzzer beater that they hit with Maxi Kleber when we were in Kentucky spread.
Wasn't that a great night? That might have been my last night of happiness watching the NBA. Well, no, we did clinch the playoffs last night. We didn't want to lead with that, Tyler.
Well, congrats.
And you didn't want to lay 14 in that game spread. What'd they end up winning by?
Did I listen to the kid like I said I would? Like I pledged to do on the show?
But when I finally got you to look up off your phone, you were like, we're betting the Kings minus 14. I was like, spread. They're playing the Blazers. The Blazers don't give a damn about basketball right now. It's like, there's no way this game's close. They beat them by 40.
I listened. I didn't argue with you. I didn't, I said, yeah, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. So that was fantastic.
You did hit me with I don't like this.
I mean, okay, let me go into my theory on that, right? When you're a crappy team, right, and you sit everybody, the difference isn't as much. For example, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right, when they sit out, there's a huge drop-off because those are two of the best players in the league. I mean, when you're sitting Nasir Little, like how much is the drop-off to the G League guy that comes in? That's my point there. That's why I worry. But I want to give myself credit. I listened. And dang, says Kyrie staying in Dallas. I know. I just want to make a joke. He says Kyrie staying in Dallas. Meg, what do you think of the New York Knicks who got the win over the Miami Heat last night? Do you think the Knicks can win in the first round of the playoffs?
I mean, I guess who are you guys thinking they'll match up with first round? Who's it looking like?
If they play the Cavs, they're dead in the water.
I was gonna say, I think it really depends who they match up with first. So
it's almost certain to be Cleveland.
Okay, it is looking to be Cleveland. Yeah, no, I like Cleveland in that one. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be like a couple years ago where that was their first round exit to the Hawks, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it might be similar to that, unfortunately.
Yeah, so the Heat now in 7th place, Tyler. You know what that means. If
they've been in 7th spread. They're stayed.
I know, but we kept expecting them to catch Brooklyn.
We just need them to win that first play-in matchup. Go get that 7th seed. Go play Boston. Go be the zombie Heat known of.
They have to be way better than the other 3 play-in teams, right?
Yeah, which means they win the first game and get the 7th
That's what I'm thinking. It's going to happen. I think they beat Atlanta. I think they beat Toronto at home. If it was in Toronto, I would favor.
The 8th seed, looking at those 3 teams, Atlanta should probably be the team that gets out of there. Toronto's no slouch to get that 8th seed.
According to you, Chicago's the greatest team ever. So
with the way they've been playing spread, could they put together 2 games and steal that 8th seed? They could. So it's like that last 8th seed is going to be the fun one. But I think the 7th seed, you could pretty much pencil Miami in.
Yeah, I would say anyone's alive for the 8th. I could see Toronto getting a win in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Meg, before we dive into today's slate, did you have any more playoff thoughts? Did you have any hot takes that you want to make me sit back in my chair with?
Yeah, I do like to see when you fly back in the chair. Let me see. I don't have any hot takes. I think I'm excited to see what shakes out. Then maybe I'll have some hot takes when we see what the actual matchups will be. But at this point, I do like it when the matchups are set and kind of like Tyler's speculating.
I feel like the East.
Take a look where you can find some dogs to win.
I feel like the East is pretty close to set 1 through 5. Would you agree, Tyler?
Yeah, East is set.
Miami's still got a chance to catch Brooklyn.
Okay.
And anything can happen in that little play-in mix.
Right, right.
Toronto could end up passing Atlanta. In which case, I like them at home against either Atlanta or Chicago. So it should be fun. And
so
the
you
West
guys think
play is
Miami and Toronto are the ones that move in to the playoffs?
I think those are those are your 7 and 8.
I agree with that. So no hot takes, just kind of in line with that.
I think those are your 7 and 8s, and I wouldn't be surprised if they both win game 1 of their series. And you got people on all the ESPN shows like, are Boston and Milwaukee going to show some weakness?
Those shows are so great.
They win the next 4 right in a row.
Right.
All right, the Boston Celtics. This is on TNT. It's in Milwaukee. They're taking on the Bucks. Bucks are -2.5 here. Total 236.5. I said it a little bit earlier on the show, Tyler. But the fact that the Celtics lost that game against Washington kind of took some of the luster off this game, right? Because now Milwaukee is 3 games ahead with 6 games to play. So technically Boston couldn't catch them, but it's a lot less likely. They lost 130-111 against the Wizards on Tuesday night. There's a lot of people on this injury report. I see Al Horford will play, Peyton Pritchard questionable, Grant Williams questionable, Robert Williams questionable, Jay Crowder questionable, Joe Ingles probable, Myers Leonard questionable, Chris Middleton probable. Tyler, you've been pretty good at predicting some of this injury news. Like, who do you think is going to be in and out here, and how do we go about approaching this game?
I don't think Pritchard is a guy you see tonight, and if you do, you're not going to see him many minutes. He's been out for like a week or 2. I don't think you see any minutes out of him. Grant Williams, I have no read on that one. Robert Williams, I don't think plays, which I think is very big for Boston here. You need his defense to stop these guys for Milwaukee, and I think that's a recipe for disaster in this matchup. We talked about it before the show spread, this MVP race. Everyone tries to say it's a 2-man race. There's a third guy lurking in the back. He's got a couple big matchups to end the year. If he nukes tonight, and then on Sunday when he goes to play Embiid, if he nukes him, he could easily come in and steal this award. So I'm all over the Bucks here. I think Giannis just rolls out onto the floor. There's nobody in the paint that can stop him from getting there. It's going to be this double-double and win is +108. His 30-plus points and win is +156. I'm all over both of those. I think he smashes Boston tonight, leading to a win. Holiday shots on fire. You've seen what he did yesterday, 51 points in, 3 quarters? Yeah. So they're on fire. They're looking to roll. Middleton's going to be in this game. I'm all over the Bucks here.
All right. I can't disagree with the best player in the world getting the MVP. Meg, what are your thoughts here when the Bucks take on the Celtics?
Yeah, I was going to ask if you thought Middleton was in tonight. And then, there's obviously a lot of question marks on the Celtics. I think what I'd like to say for these 2-game slates from a DFS standpoint, I definitely like game stacking one if you think one stays close, and because if you get one that stays close or goes to overtime and then one that doesn't stay close at all, then especially at this late in the season, I think that's a great position to kind of overstack one game. So I kind of wanted your take if you think one stays closer than the other. I mean, but I think honestly, if you're playing multiple lineups, do multiple stacks with, stacking one game, stacking the other game. So certainly think you can stack this game up. And then obviously you can get some, go with Giannis, Holiday, and then get maybe some cheaper pieces like Horford, and some other guards on the Boston side, or you could really just try to stack it up as best you can, even running back Tatum instead of a Joker in the second game, and do it that way. So I think that's kind of interesting, just the whole 2-game stack thing.
All right, and just like a well-oiled watch, Jonathan Nelson shows up after a Lakers win. What's up to our guy Jonathan Nelson? Tyler, Meg was talking about stacking these games. Which one do you think would be better to stack?
That was my question.
Yeah. The more I look at them, like even with the totals higher in the Boston game,
right?
But the more I look at it, I think you're getting a playoff atmosphere in that one. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to bet the under there. If Jokic sits, he's got a Q tag on him. I mean, you got to play all the Denver guys, and that game's going to be back and forth, up tempo at that point. It's going to be Ingram versus Jamal Murray and these guys. They're just going to get up and down the floor. So I'd rather stack the late game here over the first game.
Tyler, you want to hear my big brain, galaxy brain conspiracy theory?
Let me hear it.
Jokic is going to play. They put the Q tag on there just to emphasize the fact that Jokic plays the more games than anyone else. Just so we can, get people thinking, hey, maybe he'll sit out. It's like, no, he never sits out. So that's my big galaxy brain conspiracy theory there. Tyler, I know there's probably not as many props up yet, but what are you looking for
in the Boston game?
Yeah.
The Giannis double and win, and the Giannis 30+ points and win are two I already penciled in that I want to be on. I don't mind the Tatum over 3.5 threes that they talked about in the chat, because we know Milwaukee defaults to letting these teams shoot threes. So don't mind that. And then if you want to go in on a Jaylen Brown too, don't mind doing his over 2.5 threes at even money.
Excellent. All right. Any other thoughts on this game, Meg, before we move on?
No, I like Tyler's player doubles for sure. I mean, if you were on the other side, you could get, a ton of, long odds on like a Jason Tatum 5 threes and win, Jason Tatum 35 points and win, something like that. But if you think Milwaukee rolls, then obviously, but you're getting, those are odds that are usually what, Tyler, like plus, 160, and they're now like plus 600,
Yep.
So if you do, for some reason, if you are on the Boston side, then there's definitely some value to taking shots on those doubles, because obviously I think that the Stars are going to have to go ham for Boston to win.
And Brett, how many times have we seen in this matchup specifically, the home team just tends to win every matchup? We watched it all in the playoffs where every time they were in Milwaukee, the Bucks picked up the win. And anytime they went to Boston, the Celtics were able to cruise to a win. So it's like, let's stick to that trend here again and just roll with Milwaukee.
All right.
But yeah, I like your player doubles, Tyler. With Giannis, that's totally solid.
I mean, Tyler, it's going to be hard to talk me out of betting on one of my favorite teams, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Deer District, let's go. And we're bringing. Yeah, wait till next Wednesday, Tyler. We're going to revisit this conversation. New Orleans Pelicans are plus 5.5. They're in Denver taking on the Nuggets. Total 226.5. Like I already gave you my big brain, Jokic. I think he'll be out there. Lato Kankar questionable. Peyton Watson questionable. Jack White, he's a guitar player. He's out. Jose Alvarado is out, and some guy named Williamson out as well. Tyler, what are you expecting this game between the Pelicans and the Nuggets?
I got a little bit of a add-on to your conspiracy.
Ooh.
I don't think he's playing. You want to know why? They play Phoenix tomorrow. Why?
Wait. So you're going against my conspiracy?
Yeah.
You think he's
These are two different
tonight?
conspiracies. I like it.
I think he's going to sit because they have Phoenix on deck.
Who
If
cares?
he is dealing with any little bit of this right calf tightness, that's the tag on him. They're going to sit him. They can't fall down in the standings. They can't move up.
So then why would they care about Phoenix tomorrow?
Because that's one of the teams you're going to see in the second round that's going to be a big thorn in your ass when the playoffs roll around.
So wouldn't you rather not give them a look at what you're going to do?
I mean, they're not going to run the same plays as they're going to run in the playoffs anyway. So I think he sits tonight. They go out there and try and match up against the Suns. It's also the fully healthy Suns they play tomorrow. You got to gauge if you could beat that team before you see them in the playoffs. You don't want to walk into that series dead in the water and not know it. So got to get some idea on that. I think he sits. If he sits, I'm on the Pelicans with our guy, We the People, even after what happened against the Warriors, where we should have cashed both those tickets.
Can you believe that game? I'm still not over that.
And then the Warriors just do their thing. Draymond's out there acting a fool. Should have been kicked out of the game. But just it's a wait and see spot on this news. But some props I like in this one. I'm all over Brandon Ingram in this game spread. 26.5 points. Give me his PRA. I don't hate taking a shot on the double-double either. They can't cover wings in Denver. And he's one of the better wings playing in the NBA right now. He's going to smash this spot. So give me his props.
What do you mean they can't cover wings? We got Aaron Gordon.
He's not covering Brandon Ingram.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. If Joker sits, then my whole everything is wrong because I did my projections with him in today. Meg, what are your thoughts here when the Nuggets take on the Pelicans?
Well, I kind of like Tyler's conspiracy theory a little better. No offense, spread. So if you do think that, and you think the Pelicans win, to Tyler's point, grab some of those player doubles now before any news breaks, because you can get, let's see, I'm looking at Brandon Ingram, 30 plus points and win plus 460, and there's tons of them, anywhere from plus 400 to plus 700 that are reasonable for the Pelicans side of any player that you're high on, whether it's Ingram, McCollum, Valanciunas. So yeah, if you agree with Tyler's conspiracy theory, you think the Pelicans win, some of those player doubles are really, really spicy right now.
Meg, we had this conversation the last couple of days on this show. We all know the Lakers are the one team in the play-in that could possibly make a run.
Sure.
Or the Warriors.
But they're not in the play-in. They're a 6 seed.
Okay.
So, but this team's sitting right behind the Lakers, the Pelicans.
Yeah.
What do you think about them if these guys show back up? I think if
Zion comes back,
Alvarado shows back up, they get some depth back on that roster. They could be a huge problem come playoff time.
I think they were fun to watch last year. I definitely think if Zion comes back, they could be a problem. So I am 100% in alignment with that. That would be super fun to watch and bet on, quite honestly, if they, make a run, make the play and make a win, get in, get people back. I love it.
Tyler,
from the DFS standpoint, though, in this game, I was just going to say to Tyler's point, though, obviously if Joker sits, then look on loading up, obviously some of the Denver pieces. And then of course you can run it back with Ingram or any of the Pelicans pieces that you like. Again, I really like trying to, you don't have to game stack it fully, but trying to load one side heavier. And again, play it both ways for both games. But in this side, obviously, if he sits, you can get a ton of value on the Denver side.
Yeah, you could also spend up for those studs there in that Milwaukee game, right? And
exactly. Or you could just do that. Yeah.
You just grab a Tatum, a Giannis, and then grab five or six more slots from this game.
Exactly.
Tyler, what do you think this line moves when we get the Jokic news? So let's say he's in. Like, is this a Jokic in line right now? Do you think?
I think it's an up in the air line. I think if he's in, it goes to 7.
Okay.
If he's out, it drops to about 2, maybe 1.5, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
they'll still be favored because of how good they've been at home.
So basically, if you're like me and you expect him to play, you're almost better off not betting it right now, though.
Right.
I'm only getting 1.5 points, whereas if he doesn't play, I would be gaining 3 by waiting. Do you see my point?
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
It feels like if you like Denver, don't play it. If you like the Pelicans, I think you could get in right now, right? With the idea, right? If you're thinking like you are, Tyler, right? That you would get 3 to 4 free points. Yeah, I could see it going all the way down to 1.5. I don't know. Without Jokic, the Pelicans might be the better team. What do you think, Tyler?
They're definitely gonna have the best player on the floor at that point.
Right.
They might have the best 2 to 3 players on the floor at that point.
I mean, I'm
not saying Jamal Murray and these guys suck, but I think Brandon Ingram's better than them.
Right.
You think Brandon Ingram's better than Jamal Murray?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even think that's an argument. I think that's a clear cut. Ingram's the better player.
Okay.
There's an argument out there that CJ McCollum's still a better player than Jamal Murray at times. So you can argue that at times, and that's pretty much it on the Pelican side. I'm not going to sit here and try and say Trey Murphy and these guys are better than him. But those two could easily be the best 2 players on the floor tonight if Jokic sits.
Yeah.
You always got to sneak that in there because somebody's going to clip that and be like, this guy thinks Jokic stinks.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we have it. All right. Anything more from this game before we give up the best bets?
Nope, that's it for me on that. I'm just checking because we're getting injury news popping in, but it's for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Meg, who's the best spend up on the slate?
Giannis.
Easy? Okay.
Yeah, Giannis for me. Absolutely.
All right, Tyler. You did it yesterday. You gave out a winning parlay. That was fantastic. But the people
Congrats,
want more.
By the way. Loved it. Yeah.
The people want more, and they're looking to you, Tyler. What's your best bet of the day, side total or prop?
We're going right back to that first game. Giannis double and win plus 110. I think they come in. Boston rolls into Milwaukee. No big man to slow him down. I don't think Horford can do it anymore. If Robert Williams ain't on the floor, it's not happening. Grant Williams is just there. They're going to smash. You look at his recent stat lines. He's double-doubled in his last 3 straight against Boston at home. He's going to do it again here. So I'm on that double-double and win.
All right, and that total's moved up a half point during this conversation. Now at 237 offshore. Meg, what's your best bet for today's side total or prop?
Okay, I'm going to go risky here, but I'm going to stick with the player doubles, similar to Tyler. I'm going to go with Tyler's conspiracy theory. Joker sits, Pelicans win. Give me grab it now. Brandon Ingram, 30-plus points. New Orleans win, plus 480.
Oh, there we go, plus 500. I'm not going that exotic there. I'll just take the Bucks minus 2.5. I do agree with Tyler there, so it's nice that we agree on something after getting dunked on, where he shows up wearing a Lakers jersey. Just absolutely rough way to start the show. But, like every good 80s after school special, we ended in harmony, Tyler, and we both like the Bucks tonight. So there you have it. We did pretty good, hey? Nice little rundown today, and glad to be able to do that for everybody because I know that the other gentlemen are going to take the afternoon off with only a 2-game slate. And, of course, there will be a lot of attention on baseball today. So we appreciate you guys staying true to the National Basketball Association. Joining us in the chat today, guys. Give us the thumbs up. Run puresports.com, your place for the best in sports gambling and daily fantasy information. Meg, words of wisdom time.
Sure. Yeah. Kind of like I started the show and said that I was working on golf and baseball. Again, those are not my sports of expertise as much as NFL and NBA. But guess what? If you're an RPS subscriber, these guys are sharp. We were just talking about some of DC's calls before we got on the air. So I'm telling you, like, if you just want to like watch and have some sweats, these guys know what they're talking about in the baseball and golf streets. Baseball opening day today, Masters next week. We got exciting things coming up in all sports. And as we know, all sports one price. So use code MEG15, Tyler15 or spread 15, and let's get some winners in every sport.